Hey there YouTube, my name is TheBrokenMachine. Today I'd like to ask you guys a question. What is camping? The reason I'm asking you guys this question is I posted a video yesterday showing you a brief little tutorial on how to get to a nice little spot on Operation Locker that can be really useful in Rush. And I received a comment about that video, not on YouTube itself but outside on Reddit. And they were basically saying that video was promoting campers and camping. And, you know, I thought, you know, I really need to address this in some way. The insult of camping and campers seems to be thrown around these days at anyone and everyone, regardless of how they're playing, their play style, what they're doing. Whether it's an objective game mode or just a pure kill-based game mode like Team Deathmatch. And I think it's lost its meaning. It's become so used and so much of a cliche insult that people use that, you know, I don't really think there's much meaning to it anymore. Back in the days of Call of Duty 4 many years ago, the first time I heard the word camper was I saw someone sitting in a corner. I think it was in a game of Search and Destroy, and people were just saying, oh, that's campers, that's what camping is. And I never really understood it. I never really understood why people would complain about that. It's just another playstyle. It's just you know, just what people do is can be effective and it isn't effective in some areas. But I just didn't understand why do players just go straight to that insult when they get outplayed? I mean, it just seems to be just too much of an excuse that people use just to try and justify why they died. So, oh, I only died because that guy's a camper or camping. I mean, why not just learn how to counter them? I mean, that's what I've been doing for the amount of time I've been playing first-person shooters. I've been trying to learn how to counter people's playstyles, and I think that's the better way to go than just trying to throw out insults that have lost their meaning. It just seems kind of childish to me, like really childish. I mean, to be a better player is to learn how to play the game, how to counter your enemies and their playstyles and their choices, options, and so on. If you've ever played in a competitive environment, whether that's, I don't know, MLG, game battles, or just some organized event on a community or a LAN or whatever, regardless of whether it's a paid competition or an actual official endorsed whatever competition, you'll have noticed that players will try and do anything they can to outplay you. And I don't see the problem with that. I don't know why people have such a problem with people trying to play in this defensive manner if they choose to. I mean, sitting in a corner isn't always so effective. I mean, it's probably one of the least effective things to do. I mean, if you're overlooking an objective or you're waiting for players to rush around the corner so you can make your way into the flag area without being spotted, or you know, just waiting down a hallway because that's where the enemies are coming from. You need to hold that area so they can't get to whatever flag it is or bomb site. I don't understand why there's such a problem with that. Can players just... why not just learn how to counter it? I mean, if someone's sitting in a corner, I don't know about you guys, but if they manage to get me, I know not to go in that corner again. You know, maybe I'll ADS the corner, around the corner, sorry, or I'll throw a grenade, or I simply will try and not engage with them. There's certainly been many occasions where, you know, there's a guy sat in a corner, and every time I go around, regardless of what weapon I'm using, I just seem to get outgunned all the time. You know, whether it's down to their skill or lag or whatever. You know, I've come to learn that you can't challenge everyone, so why not just learn to outplay them in a different way? So, for example, you know, like I said, throwing a grenade around the corner, or even just flanking right around the map. I mean, there's so many ways you can play this game. I don't understand why people just go straight straight for the insults rather than learning or having the will to learn how to play and counter other people's play styles and play better. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about this. No, it's not an issue, but it's an annoyance that this term campers and camping are just thrown around all over the place without much consideration into what they actually mean anymore. It's I don't know, I just find it ridiculous. It seems that, why not? Yeah, I know I keep saying this, but why not just learn how to counter people's playstyles? I mean, that's what makes you a better player, and that's what separates you from, you know, the worst players in the game. It's, I don't know. This gameplay you're watching is a mixture of playstyles, very sometimes aggressive, sometimes defensive, and you know that's me. That's me, and that's how I play. I don't adhere to this. There seems to be a great obsession with rushing and running these days in FPS games. I don't adhere to that. You know, I'll play aggressive when I need to. You know, I try and figure out how to play aggressive in the right situations, and when I need to be aggressive, and when aggressive rushing kind of playstyle really benefits. You know, I think there's a real skill in that, and at the same time, I think there's a real skill in knowing when to play defensively and when to not push in too hard, too fast, and when to use, you know, your brain, you know, try and make sense of what's going around you and decide, you know what, this is not the time to be rushing in. You know, if I rush into this, if I, like this clip here, if I rushed out down there, I'd probably get shot because I'm on low health. I don't have the hood on, but I have been hit a few times, so I know I've taken quite a bit of damage. So, you know, that's awareness right there. You know, moving on to awareness, this gameplay, as you probably noticed, the hood is completely turned off. This is not hardcore, by the way. This is softcore. I do like to play without the hood. I think it's it brings this whole new level of gameplay and a whole new level of awareness that you need to have if you were to try and counter campers. So going back to the discussion of campers and camping defensive playstyles, you know, there's to counter these kind of players who are going to be sat in a corner playing defensively and whatever. You know, you have to build awareness, and I think having the hood turned off is one way to do it. But you know, like I said several times, you know, why not try and build this awareness, this knowledge of where people come from, where the enemy's likely going to be, where they want to be, predicting enemy paths. You know, why not learn that and how to counter people than just throwing out insults all the time. Excuse me. You know, this is why I don't really use the term campers or camping, because I've just kind of, I guess, grown up in some kind of way where I just don't use this term. I just prefer to just play the game and, you know, just try and outplay someone. I rarely throw out insults. You'll rarely hear me say campers or camping, and the only times I've used it is when I'm in a really heated kind of place. A game, particularly in Call of Duty and Search and Destroy. Those games, if you haven't played them, it's a single life game mode similar to Diffuse in Battlefield 4, where the game can get very heated and you can hear the enemy in between rounds. So it can get very heated and get very personal, so insults can be thrown around, and it's not necessarily in a personal kind of way or directly at them. It's more of just a jokey kind of playful thing. Not that I endorse, you know, just insulting people. I rarely, you know, I don't like to insult people. I mean, you know, I have said, oh, god damn it, that guy's camping or whatever, but it's not meant to be like, I hate that kind of player, and I don't say it to them while it's in the game and they can hear me. It's more of a thing I just kind of say to my team. You know, it's more of a it's kind of like a call out, I guess. You know, just telling your teammates, oh, that guy is camping over there. Is not used in a derogatory kind of sense. It's just a call out. You know, that guy's playing over there. He's camping over there. He's playing defensive over there. It's just a term that I use, you know, with its strict definition. Well, with the definition that I used to think that it had, it was a strict definition. You know, like I said earlier, back in the old days, Call of Duty 4 and the old FPS games, you know, a camper or someone camping was just someone in the corner, and that's how I use it. That's when I use it in that way, not as an insult, just as a call out, like I said. But anyway, I don't know. I just thought it'd be something to address, you know, something to talk about over a video that just wasn't, you know, just me talking about pure gameplay. But anyway, you know, what do you guys think? What do you think of the insult camper or camping? Do you think it's a term that, you know, that I think it is, that it's just overused and it's just, you know, kind of lost its meaning now? It doesn't really have the same meaning that it used to have, or at least, you know, I used to think it just meant someone sat in a corner ADS all day, but now it's just a term thrown out everywhere and anywhere, and it's kind of doesn't really mean what it used to be. But I digress. You know, it is what it is. So, you know, that was just my thoughts on the matter. With a 32-5 gameplay, no HUD, on domination. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thanks for tuning in. Drop me a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.